Welcome to Rustic Cottage Co. I'm Julie and I hope you like my Facebook page Rustic Cottage Co, my group Rustic Cottage Co and my YouTube channel Rustic Cottage Co. This video is to inspire you. Please give the thumbs up, like, tell your friends and pass the word on. That will help my business. I much appreciate the time you're taking to enjoy this video. Please keep watching and let me know what you think in the comments. And thank you again for watching Rustic Cottage Co. from Julie. Have a great day. Enjoy the movie. So I am going to actually do some Halloween, and still got the sticker on. I got this for $2. I know I probably got a percentage off, probably a 25% off. Anyway, I have never done one of these before, so I'm going to attempt to try and make this baby doll into a Halloween decor. So I'm going to start with my usual, and I've just realized I haven't opened it, so hopefully I've got something right here I can open it with. Let's see if it's strong enough. Yeah, it will be, just a little. My usual charcoal paint, the Rust-Oleum dark charcoal paint. It's a brand new one, so that's what I've got going on. It's what I usually use. It's going to be a base coat, so I'm just going to try and slap this on everywhere. So see what happens. Even going to go over the eyes and just kind of put it everywhere. So get it right into the mouth, the grooves. Might even need to get, we'll see, a smaller brush to get it right in the mouth there. Get it into the eyes, and I'm just going to get it everywhere. And this is just the first main coat, and I'm going to try and attempt to do what I usually do, and is do some crackle effect and some unusual kind of make it look creepy. So in the comments, if you've done one of these before, I'd love to know how you've done it, or if you've got a picture of one, or even better, give me some suggestions of what you would do different. As I say, this I'm playing with this first time, so I'm not quite sure what or how it's going to turn out. I'm just going to have some fun with it and bring you along with me. And you know, it's something cheap anyway. Have some fun. It's Halloween. Why not? And if it turns out good, then I can add it to my display when I put the Halloween stuff out. So I'm just getting it all over. It might take a couple of times because just getting it into those crevices, I might wait until some of it's dry to be able to get it everywhere. But just get this grey all over. I think I'll just do the upper body first, let that dry, and then do, when it's dry I can hold it then and do the lower part. That might be the easiest way. Anyway, once I've got all this grey on covered everywhere, we can get on to the next step, which will obviously be just putting a clear coat on so that this doesn't rub off when I'm doing everything else, as I want this to be the base. And as I say, anywhere I can't get the paint right now, I will go back in and do that after. So I'm going to sit the doll up here and just, if I can, there you go. You're going to sit. Yeah. And just let it dry, and let's kind of have some fun. And once it's dry, we'll get on to the next part. What are you guys going to be doing for Halloween? Let me know. So now I've got the doll is covered in the dark charcoal grey and also have a clear coat on. And next I'm going to use a small brush and go just around the eyes, because I don't want the actual eyes to be painted with the top coat. I want them dark and kept dark, so I'm just trying to find actually one of, I don't have many artist brushes right now. I need to get some, so I think that'll be something I pick up in the near future. Anyway, I'm using my usual white chalk paint here, and I just got to give it a bit of a stir. Here's my stir stick. Hold on, it's a little on the thick side here. That's better. Give it a little stir. And I can use what's on the actual stir stick here. And I'm just going to go around the eyes right now because I want to leave them black, well, the charcoal grey. So just kind of going around them in. So then when I use my bigger brush later, I don't get the eyes. So, well, it's been a long time since I've used it. This isn't even actually a good artist brush right now, but I'm just trying to get the outline of the eyes painted around it, so then when I go in with a bigger brush after, I don't go over where I don't want. And I have gone over a little bit, but that's okay. It is water-based paint, so I can just go in after. But I'm kind of doing that look right now just to get the eyes kind of not painted. Next, I'm going to be using the Crackle paint, Crackle medium that I usually use, and I'm going to put that with another one of these artist brushes. Hold on, I think I'm going to be using this one. I'm going to just put it in some of the places over the body and the head very thinly. I want it to just crackle just a little, and as I said, I've never done this before, so I'm going to have some fun with this and see what happens, you know. Let it crackle, let it just kind of do some fun stuff. I don't want it big, wide crackles, but just some thin little kind of crackling. And then I'm going to go over the whole thing with the white chalk paint. I think that should be good. And I'm just going to wait for that. I don't want it to fully dry, I just want it to be tacky dry. And then I'm going to go over with a little bit bigger brush, use the white chalk paint and cover the whole thing. So that will be next. I painted 2 coats of this white linen chalk paint on the doll. I'm not sure why I didn't have the video of that, but there is 2 coats of white chalk paint now onto the doll. So next I'm going to be using, again, the usual glaze, the aged glaze I've used on wood and everything else. And all I'm doing is just going around any of the creases of the doll, just to give it some aged look. And I'm just then, if it's got too dark, just patting it in to just tone it down a little. And I'm just going to go around all the creases with this aged glaze. As I say, just to give it some aged look, making it look like an old doll. Things like this are fun to do. I could spend hours just doing details on this, And if it was literally for myself, I probably would. But as this is going to be a display for sale, unfortunately ours does not turn into dollars, so you kind of have to just be careful on that. I'm just going to put in a little bit of the detail of the face and the ears. And then just rub back off. It's just going to give a little bit of a shadowing effect rather than anything else. And then go around this arm here. Then I'm just going to put a little bit around the wrists and the knees, just a tiny bit, and the feet. And again, just rub it back off. And last but not least on this, I'm going to put just a tiny little bit of my glaze in some water. Oh, that was a little more than I was going to put, but that's okay. No big deal. And just mix that, some glaze and water, and just with a brush I'm just going to go over the whole thing. And as I say, this is just going to give some age to the doll, so as though it's been up in the attic for a little while. Just go over the whole thing. And then with a cloth, just rub back. And then over the whole head and face with the watered down glaze. Do like one section at a time, like the head first, or however you want to do it. And then with just a dry cloth, just rub it back. And it just gives that older look than just the bright white, newly painted look. One arm at a time. And then this creepy doll look is going to be finished. And we can get on to the next part, putting some labels on the bottles. Last arm and last leg. I'm just literally slapping it on because aging process on anything is very, very random. So I don't want this perfect because or else it'll look, again, painted. I'm trying to make it look like the doll has been in the attic for a while. Bit of a dirty look, you know? If you wanted to keep this for years and years, you could always put a clear coat over the top, and you'd be able to do that. I may do that for the purpose that I am actually selling this. But if you just put it in your own home for Halloween decor for the few weeks that you do Halloween decor, then you know it's not needed, as you don't totally wash it, you know. So there we go, finished. And we'll get on with the rest of the display. So I have these bottles all ready to paint up. This is going to be for my Halloween display. I collect different kinds of bottles of different shapes and sizes and textures for my Halloween display to be potion bottles. So that's why I get a certain kind of look, and I just collect them. They're usually $1 or 50 cents from the thrift store, and I pick them up throughout the year, and then I'm going to be painting them, spray painting them, and using this one here, the Rust-Oleum, and it's a flat black, goes on anything. It says even goes on plastic, goes on anything, and I'm going to spray these up. Now, a lot of them I'm going to spray completely. This one's going to be amazingly sprayed, and then put some white wax on it. This one, being a beautiful colour as is, I'm going to just spray a little bit of it, not all of it, because I want some of the green to show. And then here, this one's going to be sprayed completely. As you may recognise this, my husband loves these. He drinks one every night. So they're clearly Canadian. He loves those. And then we have some other tiny little bottles and kinds of bottles that we've collected or saved over the time. So I'm going to have some fun with this and spray it. I'm not going to show spraying because I don't want the overspray to go on my phone, and I'll show you after what I do with them next. It's hard to see in this light, but I have now painted all of them. They are not solid black. I didn't want them solid black, or else it would just be modern. I wanted them to look eerie. They have to dry. Here's the green one. I don't know if you can see, but it's, I'll try and come around here and show you. It's still got some of the green. So I've painted each one. Some of them I have just put a touch of paint on the bottom or in places to just show still the colour of the bottles, and some of them I've covered totally. And let them dry, and then we'll get some white wax on them. So some of these bottles that I painted black, I won't be putting any labels on, as they have got patterns on them and the labels will be hard to stick on them. But what I like to do is put white wax on them. So I use just a lint-free cloth, and this is the white wax that I actually use. You can use any kind of white wax, it doesn't matter. I just picked this one up from Home Depot, it's easy, and I'm just going to rub it onto the bottle, getting it on there everywhere, on the top as well. Just leave it there for a moment, do the next one. Some of these have got lots of patterns, some of them have a little. Just get it on. Just do a few of these, I think, for you to see. And the ones that are flatter, I'm going to be putting some labels on. This one's going to be coming out pretty good because of how much stuff is on it. So let's do that one for you. Get lots of white everywhere. Get it in all the little crevices of these flowers. The old lady kind of vases type thing are actually the best ones to do this look to, I find. They come out kind of really intricate, interesting and old looking. And then if you remember this one that I kept a little green, we're going to put some on this one too. This one here I painted up. I don't know if I showed you, but I thought this would be a perfect size and look to turn into a cauldron. So I'm just going to put some on the handles, on the feet. If you see the feet here, they're quite intricate and pretty. So I'm just going to put some on the feet. And then the other handle, and then I'm just going to put some around the top. Right, the others I will do after. You don't need to see me do each one. So I'm going to go back to the original first one using the same cloth. I'm going to wipe back some of the white wax. And what I find the white wax actually does is give it that kind of eerie kind of look to it. So this one next, just wipe it back. Just kind of gives it that look of cobwebs, eeriness, just that cloudiness over the harsh black, charcoal grey. And then just leave them to dry. Because I put the white wax on quite thickly, it will take a little bit to dry. But we've got plenty of time. It's now August and Halloween's not yet. What are you guys doing for Halloween? This is that little one. I'm just going to give it a good rub. And then I'll show you how this one turned out. And as it all comes together, I find it will, especially with the white wax on it, it'll look good. Come to the background being black, this will stick out more as well, because you want your fabrics, your different things on your display to be a lot of black. It is Halloween, so one time you can go with spooky, and so this white wax actually does kind of pop once you've got it in place in your little display. There you go, and just the last one here, and then we can put these, starting to put this onto the actual display itself. gives a little depth to the whole thing. Just rubbing it in, taking away and just showing detail. There you go, the start of our little cauldron. Not quite sure what else I'm going to do with this cauldron yet, but I'm going to have some fun with it. So I'm going to put these on the display. The other bottles I'm going to be putting labels on next. More Halloween coming in the next video. What do you think so far? Are you enjoying? I'm Julie from Rustic Cottage Co. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and thumbs up. Thank you.